Update for today, February the 12th. So I was back in third grade today, same classroom, same school as I was yesterday, and honestly, it was another pretty good day. Not the miracle, like perfect day I got yesterday, but I also didn't have a half day today either. So yeah, but anyway, it was a good day, and that puts me in a good mood. Crazy how those two things go together. All right. Let's see. It was a full day, however, which means that I was getting out of there about 2:45 in the afternoon. Um, Elementary schools around here, all three districts that I do subbing work for are on what was more or less the middle school schedule when I was a kid. Um, they all start around 3 or around 8, and they all get out around 2:30. Of course, can't have uniformity. One district's offset by another by like 5 minutes. One starts at 7:55, another starts at 8, and one gets off at 2:15, one gets off at 2:25, one gets off at 2:30. In terms of when the kids leave, but you get the idea. That's kind of all what they do. Anyway, so left there about that time, and of course, went and got my workout in. Pretty good workout today too. I was quite impressed with myself, if I do say so myself. And then what do you do after that? Well, of course you go to Carl's Jr., which I will call myself out on because, you know, I figure if I mention that type of stuff too often, maybe I'll stop doing it. So, hopefully. All right. Then came home, and as I've mentioned repeatedly, one of the big issues that I'm going through right now with all this going back and forth with my parents and all this other stuff is constantly being behind on everything. And so, so many of my spare moments that I get are now basically devoted to catching up on adulting stuff. And this time it was not doing a full load, but doing a little bit of laundry of my like store work shirts and stuff. Super fun adulting there. And yes, another one of those adulting things that we all love. You get that notification, and it's a trustworthy one, like through an app and not through any spam crap. But that we're changing our system, so you need to go in there and update all your automatic payments. Total first world problems, but just one more thing, tack that on the list, because of course, why not? And if you don't do it, by the time your next payment comes up, something might go wrong. Okay, let's stop everything and deal with that. All right, so anyway, so dealt with that, and oh yes, and another kind of thing, and I will be actually talking about this here more in just a moment, is again that beautiful commute back and forth between here and Central Oregon to go hang out with my parents. Well, it is amazing, particularly during the winter. This like crud that they put on the freeway or the highway, particularly in the mountain pass to it's icebreaker or something. It is fascinating to me how filthy this stuff makes your car. And for instance, earlier today, this is what the vehicle I've gone back and forth several times here since the last car wash looks like. Yeah. So again, this stuff is great for anti-ice or whatever it is that it does. Again, that this commute has not been dangerous at all, probably because of this stuff. But man, yuck. So went to the car wash today, and of course, it's Thursday, so I am going to again mention, because everybody wants to know, that tonight I took the trash out. Yay! All right, so that's if if you use a phone holder and you kick your little phone holder while you're filming something with it, that's what happens. All right. Anyway, so I mentioned a few days ago, I had kind of taken photographs of my commute between here and Central Oregon, that same commute that makes your car really dirty. And a few days ago, I showed you the first few pictures of that I took photographs of it at 10-mile intervals last time that I did the drive. And so we had started at my place here in Vancouver, and we had crossed over to milepost 10, or I should say the 10-mile mark, which is right as you're getting on from the north-south 205 on the east-west SR14, or I'm sorry, I-84, and then kind of take the, in most cases, you take the Wood Village exit over to Burnside, and and then you go on Burnside all the way out to I-20 or Highway 26, which is the Mount Hood Highway. Right as you get onto Highway 26, that's the 20-mile marker. And then you kind of go through over to past a town that's literally called Boring, over to past another town called Sandy, which is where the 30-mile marker is. And that's like almost kind of getting into the mountain kind of feel now. And you kind of keep going. Milepost 40 is you're starting to head up the side of Mount Hood. You keep going. Milepost 50, you're quite close to where the ski resorts and things are. Right around milepost 50. 60, you're now past the main resort area, which is a place called Government Camp, but you're now towards milepost 60 is where you can turn off to go to a place called Hood River, or to Central Oregon, or Eastern Oregon, or down to Central Oregon, which is where I'm headed. But anyway, but you're now getting even higher into the pass. Milepost 66 is what they call Blue Box. It's like 4,024 feet above sea level or something. It's the highest point of this whole shebang. And if it's going to be cold or icy or whatever, this is normally where it is. Although I think on the day that I took these pictures, it's actually a little bit snowier down in the Hood River Junction area, if I recall correctly. Let's see. And then you start, once you get past Blue Box, honestly, it becomes very flat very fast. The town where my parents live in is actually at around 3,500 feet or so itself, so you don't really lose a bunch of elevation. Going quickly now, so you don't go too far down on the other side, but you continue going along. Milepost 70 is still, you're kind of going through the forest. 80, you're starting to go through, break out of there. And 80 and 90, you start going through, you're in some Native American reservation, and there's some farmland there. Milepost 100, give or take, is right after you go through a town called Warm Springs, which is, if you've ever been to Canida, right about where that is. The next several, not a whole lot going on at 100, 110, 120. 120 is you kind of head down into a valley towards a little town called Madras. 140. I'm sorry, 130 and 140. Kind of just a long flat. Can be pretty windy around here, just not flatland. And then 150. And then 150 basically puts you right on my parents' doorstep. That is the commute I've done a gazillion times here in the last 6 weeks. Hope you enjoyed the tour. And I once again will be teaching 3rd grade again tomorrow. And I believe this is going to be 3rd grade Valentine's Day party day. I'll be sure to let you know how that goes tomorrow. All right, everyone. Talk to you then, and ciao for now.